You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast with your dating coach, Trip, from tripadvice.com. Do you struggle with getting girls to like you? Well, you're going to learn step-by-step how to talk to girls to create deep connections and meet the woman of your dreams. Here's your host, me, Trip. Hello and welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. Yes, it has been a while, but we are back and we are not stopping. I know that a lot of you who listen are avid listeners and you listen to every single week where I'm putting out podcasts, and I apologize for the long break here, but I'm back. We're back in action. The podcast is going to continue and we're doing it. So I hope you're sticking around and I hope you're still with me because got a lot of good stuff coming this year. I really do. I've been learning a lot about dating and relationships. I mean, obviously, I guess I consider myself what would be an expert. I don't know. I've learned a lot of things over the course of the years. I've studied things. So I like to share what I've learned. That's why I started Trip Advice. That's why I started this podcast. I just have been learning on a topic that is my favorite. I've seen results. People who have gotten my advice have seen results. So I'm here to share that with you. And this year, I'm learning a lot. I've been learning a lot in my relationship. I've been learning a lot from past relationships and, the whole dating scene, and things are changing, but that doesn't mean you can't be successful in it. So I wanted to do an episode today about why she doesn't like you back. And this is inspired by a recent coaching client of mine. And he's going to remain nameless, even though I think he didn't mind if I said his name, but I just want to share anonymity through the people that I work with because I know it is important to a lot of guys. And I'm coaching him, and it's been going very well. And I'll tell you, he's a great guy. He's a great guy, and he's very much like you. I know because I talk to a lot of you. I hear from a lot of you, and you all have very similar issues of a girl not liking you back and the desperation behind it and being just unknowing about why this is happening to you. And so I got a lot of inspiration from a coaching call I did with him today. And he said to me something really interesting, something that was extremely profound, something that I've taught but haven't been able to say in the words that he says them. He basically said this to me. He said, "What do you think of this, Trip? The perfect woman likes you back. The perfect woman likes you back." And it was so simple, so easy. And I was like, where did you hear that from? I was literally like, did I say that before? Have you heard that from another coach, from a book? I was like, that's so great. And he goes, no, I just thought about it. And the reason why he thought about it is because he's been in and out of what I call mini relationships. When you start dating someone for maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and it kind of dies off. And he's had a string of these where they've just been dying off. We'll get into a relationship with a girl. Things will be going so well. They'll end up even getting to the point where they're getting physical together, having sex. Everything is fantastic, but then they drop off. So we've been helping him through the process and figuring out what's going on. And he gets very caught up with these girls. He gets very emotionally invested in these girls because, he's seeing them a lot. He's working hard at the relationship. I know it's not a exclusive relationship, but I call it a relationship because that's what it is. Whenever you meet someone, a relationship between you two is formed, a bond is formed. So in this beginning dating relationship, he becomes invested. And all of a sudden, it doesn't work out and he gets very upset. And we've been coaching him through this process. And he says to me this morning, the perfect woman likes you back. And I said, wow. I said, I got to share this in my podcast because guys have to know this. Guys have to understand this. And it's simple. I get it. It's simple, but it's hard. And I know that's not going to solve everything for you, but it is true. We sit here and we idealize and we idolize. We put these women on pedestals. I mean, even I know that some guys put women on pedestals who they haven't even dated yet. It's one thing even to have a girl in your life that you're not even dating, but then you're dating her. I mean, really, let's look at this whole situation here. A guy who's dating a girl for a long time and it doesn't work out. Yes, that is very painful. Very painful. And then the guy who's not even dating the girl but knows her and nothing's even happening. It's like, come on, dude. You guys haven't even dated. She hasn't even liked you yet. And we still idolize these girls who don't even like us. For whatever reason, I don't know. I think it's kind of the hard to get thing. We want what we can't have. For some reason, when we can't have something, there's a lot of value in it. I think that comes down to self-esteem issues. We don't think we deserve it. So we put value on things that we don't think we deserve. We don't think we deserve a lot of money. We don't think we deserve a great girlfriend, a pretty girlfriend. We don't deserve happiness. Deep, deep down inside, we're thinking these things. So we put all this value on the things that we can't have, that we think we don't deserve. And that's really the core to self-esteem, if you ever studied it, is deserving happiness. And everyone deserves it, but you only deserve it if you think it. That's where self-esteem comes from. It comes from that thought, that idea, that concept in your mind, deserving happiness. But I'm getting a little off track here, and I want to kind of go back to the core concept. The idea that the perfect woman likes you back. The perfect woman likes you back. Which is true. So what this means is that there's a woman out there that you've been dating for a while, and it doesn't work out. There's a woman out there that you've been just head over heels for, and it doesn't work out. Or a girl that you really want and you try to go for it, and it doesn't work out. This amazing girl that you picture in your head doesn't want you. She is not the perfect woman. The perfect woman wants you back. She likes you. She wants to be with you. And the second she doesn't, this is her loss, my friend. Of course, there's exceptions. Maybe you screwed something up. Maybe you cheated. Maybe you did something bad to her. Maybe you were manipulative. Maybe you lied to her. Then you don't deserve her because you treated her in that negative way. But I think a lot of people who listen to this podcast are really good guys who aren't necessarily doing that. And if you are, that's something else that needs to be worked on. But the perfect woman likes you back. She wants to be with you. I know the title of this episode is Why She Doesn't Like You Back. So we'll get into that right now. Why she doesn't like you back. Well, obviously there's a million reasons. And we don't know the specific one depending on what situation you're in right now. But she doesn't like you back for many reasons. One being probably that you were too needy in the relationship. This is also inspired by my coaching client that I worked with today and talked on the phone with. By the way, if you are interested in coaching, you can always contact me, trip@tripadvice.com, and we can talk about it and see if you're a good fit for coaching. But we were talking today, and we were just talking about the fact that he's been really needy. He's been like this nice guy the whole time, doing things for her, doing all these things for her. Oh, I've been so nice to her. I've helped her with this. I've assisted her in this. I've helped her with that. It's been going on, just saying the things that he's helped her with, or he's been nice about, or attentive about. And don't get me wrong, be a good guy, but don't expect just being a nice person to get a girl attracted to you. That's not how attraction works. Attraction works on a whole different level. I have a lot of episodes about that. And this whole podcast is basically about that. Maybe you've heard me talk about how attraction works in other episodes. So I'm not going to go deep into that on today's episode, but just understand that attraction works in a different way. You don't deserve a girl just because you're nice. That's a commodity. Being nice is a commodity. Anyone can be nice. When I say commodity, that means like it's prevalent. Anyone can be there, right? It's something that's very easy. It's easy to be nice, but that's not all a woman is looking for. She's just not looking for a guy who's nice. I'm not saying don't be nice. A lot of guys think, I need to be the asshole. No, it's not about being an asshole. This has nothing to do with nice or not nice. Obviously, common sense speaks. If you're a jerk, she's going to be, she might be attracted to that, but if she is attracted to the jerk, that's weird, man. I think that's kind of weird. I think she's got some hardcore emotional issues, maybe some daddy issues. Okay, be worried if a girl is just attracted to you because you're a jerk. It's not about that. Okay, this is my theory here. It's not about that. Because I know plenty of guys who are very nice who still get girls attracted to them. I also know plenty of jerks who it doesn't work out with because the relationship is just a psychological mess. So the idea here really for attraction, if I had to sum it up, is the fact that you are building tension and you are also being a guy that she sees herself with because he's got his own life. Guys who are not confident, they're not guys that women want to mate with because women want survival skills. Do you have your own life? Is it fun? Is it interesting? And are you able to build tension when you're with her? Being nice is not building tension. I go really deep into this into my program called Hooked, by the way. If you don't have Hooked, check it out, getherhooked.com. I go deep into how to create that tension that makes a woman just, jump all over your bones. But this is why she doesn't like you back, because you're just being nice, you're not building tension, and maybe you just have a life that she's just like, nah, this isn't so good. And I don't mean because you're like an accountant and you think like being an accountant in New Jersey is really boring. I'm not saying you have to be a crazy superstar. That's fine. But have a life. Are you able to support yourself? Are you able to have a good time? Do you have hobbies? Are you an interesting person? Are you well-rounded? Are you reading? Are you working on your personal development? These are things I believe guys should be working on all the time. I'm working on these things all the time to build a well-rounded life. Are you a happy guy? Do you have friends? A good relationship with your family if you have one? Are you working on your health? Are you working on your wealth? Are you working on your spiritual side, whether you're religious or you're not? A girl will meet you and say, wow, this guy's got a lot of cool things going on. He's doing a lot of stuff. That's interesting. But again, this is not just one side. It's not one thing. There's a lot of things. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's, you're building tension when you're with her. Maybe you're playing hard to get a little bit. Do you see what I'm saying here? I hope this is kind of getting ingrained into. I know I'm not giving like specific examples, but we're just touching upon topics. We're just giving you ideas, things to think about, why she doesn't like you back. And here's the thing. If you're like, Trip, I got this amazing life. I'm doing cool things. I got the macro figured out. What's the micro? Well, that's where the tension comes in, and the way you talk to her, or the way you build sexual tension when you're with her. And all that stuff is described in my Hooked program, like I said, and throughout various episodes of my podcast. But if you got all that stuff figured out and she doesn't like you, sometimes it just comes down to chemistry. That's it. Comes down to chemistry. Comes down to the connection you two have. Sometimes it just isn't there, and you can't manipulate it and you can't fake it. It's just not there. Maybe she's got a crazy connection with another guy. There's not a lot of room for her to have a connection with you. I think my client said he thinks that one of his girls that he's been dating, the reason why she dropped him was because she found another guy. That happens. It sucks. It's bad luck, but it happens. But we're not going to sit here and play victim and say, look, it always happens to me. They find another guy, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, we can say that all day, but that's not going to get you anywhere. Or we can say, oh, she didn't like me back. She found another guy. Well, looks like I didn't find the quote-unquote perfect woman. And by the way, when I say perfect, I don't believe there is a perfect woman. I think there is a girl out there who crosses off a lot of the lists, or checks a lot of the boxes, I should say, that you're looking for in a woman. And hopefully you get 80% of the way there, which is pretty strong. And then hopefully she likes you back. Boom. Now that's my definition of a perfect woman. Having a couple of the boxes checked off, meaning you share some similar values, you want the same things in life, you're physically attracted to her, you guys get along, you have similar senses of humor, you have a fun time talking with her, conversing with her, all those great things. And on top of that, part of the little boxes, okay, one of those is she likes me back. And if she doesn't, it's nothing we take personally. That's what I want to really convey to you on this episode. It's nothing you take personally. The second you take it personally, the second you really lose out on everything. You start overanalyzing how you're feeling about yourself, your self-esteem drops. It's like, no, let's reverse this for a second. Let's say, whoa, she doesn't like me back. She just lost out on a great guy. It's her fault. It's her fault. That's the way I would look at it. So I hope this resonated with you today. I hope this did something. I know that it's been few and far between some episodes, but I really wanted to come back on a strong note here and get back into things with this, because I think it's important we go into 2018 and continue 2018 realizing that you will find an amazing woman. She's out there. She's there for you. But if it doesn't work out, then we move on, and we move on in a stronger way. and we realize that the perfect woman, she likes you back. Can't say it enough on this episode. So there you go. I hope that helped. Let's keep rocking. I got more episodes coming to you this month and the rest of the year, so stay on board, stick around. We got some great things coming. Talk to you soon.